All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are tackling one of the biggest decisions you can make as a consumer, and that's the choice between a good old-fashioned gas-powered car and a brand new electric vehicle. This is a huge topic, so let's dive in. You know, this is so much more than just a personal choice. It's really a massive technological and cultural shift. It's pitting 100 years of engineering against this wave of pure innovation. The battle for your driveway? It's happening right now. So, in one corner, you've got the reigning champ, the internal combustion engine. It's familiar, it's proven, it has literally powered our world for over a century. And in the other corner, you have the electric challenger. It's quiet, it's incredibly quick, and it promises a cleaner future. So let's see how they really stack up. Okay, round one. Let's kick things off with the one thing that matters to every single one of us. The money. How do these cars actually impact your wallet, not just today, but for years to come? This is the fundamental trade-off, isn't it? Generally speaking, gas cars are cheaper to walk out of the dealership with. The upfront cost is lower. But the whole argument for an EV is that even though that initial sticker price is higher, you're going to save a ton of money over the long run on things like fuel and maintenance. And this is really the core pitch from Team EV, the savings over time. I mean, think about it. Electricity per mile is way cheaper than gas. Plus, you can forget about oil changes, there's no exhaust system to repair, and regenerative braking, that's where the car recharges the battery a bit when you slow down. It means your brake pads last way longer. All those little things are meant to add up to some serious cash over the life of the car. But, and this is a huge but, here's the counterargument. That number, that's the potential price tag for replacing an EV's battery pack after the warranty runs out. For people who are skeptical of EVs, this is the single biggest fear. It's like a potential financial time bomb that could completely erase all those years of fuel savings in one single repair bill. Okay, so we've covered the wallet, but what about the feel behind the wheel? That brings us to round two, the actual driving experience. Money aside, how do these cars make you feel when you're on the road? And they are polar opposites. It's like night and day. An EV gives you this eerie, silent, instant rush of power. A gas car, though, that gives you a totally mechanical, gut-level experience. You hear the engine roar, you feel the gear shift. It's really a battle between quiet, sleek efficiency and raw mechanical feedback. If you talk to an EV owner, this is what they will rave about. Instant torque. It means the second your foot even thinks about touching the pedal, you get 100% of the car's power. There's no hesitation, no waiting for the engine to catch up. It's just smooth, relentless acceleration. That, for a lot of people, is just an absolute thrill. And here's the passionate comeback. For the gearheads, the traditional car enthusiasts, the sound and the vibration, that connection to the machine, that is the whole point. They'll tell you that the very silence and smoothness of an EV makes it feel, well, sterile, soulless, like you're driving a really fast kitchen appliance, not a car with personality. All right, let's zoom out a bit. We've talked about your wallet and the driving feel, but let's look at the bigger picture. Round three is all about the environmental impact. Which one of these is actually better for the planet? Now, this whole debate is way more complicated than you might think. On the surface, it seems simple, right? EVs have zero tailpipe emissions. That's a huge win for air quality in our cities. But critics will immediately say, hold on a second, you have to look at the entire life of the car, from mining the minerals for the battery all the way to how we generate the electricity to power it. So when you look at the whole picture, studies have shown that even when you factor in the power plant emissions, an EV can cut its lifetime greenhouse gas emissions by up to half compared to a gas car. And as our power grid gets greener with more wind and solar, that advantage for EVs is only going to get bigger. But this is where the story gets messy. The other side argues that the environmental cost isn't coming out of the tailpipe, it's at the very beginning and the very end of the car's life. We're talking about the huge environmental and ethical issues around mining materials like lithium and cobalt, the massive amount of energy it takes to manufacture the batteries, and the really tough challenge of what to do with them once they die. Okay, so these are massive, really important questions, but let's bring it back down to earth. How does all of this actually affect your daily commute or that family road trip you've been planning? It's time for our final round. This is it. This is where the rubber literally meets the road. Round four is all about the day-to-day practicalities. We're talking range, refueling, and just general real-world reliability. Let's start with pure numbers. Best case scenario, perfect weather, gas cars still have the edge. You can just go farther on a full tank of gas than you can on a full charge in most EVs. Simple as that. And this is a massive real-world problem. Cold weather absolutely kills battery performance. So that 300-mile range you thought you had, it can suddenly plummet to less than 200 miles. That is a huge deal for anyone living in a colder climate. A gas car, on the other hand, pretty much doesn't care what the thermometer says.
And then you have the refueling race. This is where the convenience gap just becomes a giant canyon. You can fill up a gas car in 5 minutes, pretty much anywhere. But charging an EV, even at a fast charger, takes a lot longer. And that's assuming you can find one that's open and not already being used, which on a long trip can be a real source of stress.
But on the flip side, when it comes to routine maintenance, the tables are turned completely. An EV is just mechanically so much simpler. No oil to change, hundreds fewer moving parts. It all adds up to fewer trips to the mechanic for all that regular stuff, and that is a huge point in the EV's favor. So, after all these rounds, what's the verdict? Who's the winner? Well, the truth is there's no single champion. It's really about understanding what you're giving up and what you're getting, so you can make the right call for your own life. Let's just boil it all down. With an EV, you get lower running costs, you're not polluting the air in your city, and the acceleration is a blast. But you have to be okay with a higher upfront price, and you have to plan your life around charging. With a gas car, it's cheaper to buy and it gives you total freedom for travel, but you'll be paying more for fuel and contributing more directly to air pollution. So at the end of the day, it really just comes down to your lifestyle. What's more important to you? The absolute freedom of a 5-minute fill-up anywhere, anytime, or the amazing convenience of waking up every single morning with a full tank ready to go? The future of your driveway, well, that's in your hands.